Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's another Living on Dividends video, and today we're going to talk about the portfolio and ULTY. So let's get into it. So you can see that the portfolio looks a little different than before. We trimmed NVIDIA and Tesla and PLTY and something else. I don't remember. But anyways, we end up getting more ULTY with that, and we got into PLTW, which was up before today. And then we ended up going in NVYY because they're paying 100%. And then we ended up going into COYY because we wanted to boost the yield because PLTY was like 125%, and then we would put that in the ULTY. So it went down from like 125 to 85. So in order to make that back up, I went to COYY and NVYY to get higher yield because it's like 100, it's like 180. So that's why we're where we are here. The last payment from COYY was Tuesday, and we got like almost $1,200. So that was cool. And then yeah, we started this and this. We might get NVYY to $1,000 a week, and then go into keep on PLTW. But once we okay, once we hit our goal of 240 estimated, then we'll go more into the growth and income funds from rec shares because you really want to start to like not lose NAV and have that potentially grow over time, kind of help keep the portfolio self-sustaining. So we're at estimated till 7 right now, and this is like more accurate because we're in the more weekly funds now than monthly, so it's more accurately gonna be able to estimate that. For August, we're going to have received about 20K, and then they're estimating like in the 17, 16, 17 range. So, so back to ULTY. So, as you can see, we have been in ULTY since 7/17 of 2024. So that's over a year and a month into ULTY. So we didn't join the hype train. We bought in the $10.50 range. It's now down to 576. But we added more down these lower numbers here. You can see more recently. But I've been holding this for a long time. So we're not new to this. We're not joining the hype. We're not bandwagoning. We're just buying and holding over a longer period of time. So the reason I say that to say is that you'll see YouTubers here, and they're gonna try to trick you, right? They're gonna try to act like Alti's bad and it's negative and all that, but we're here to show you the truth because this channel is about yield and total return. It doesn't matter about the stock price, right? It could be $43 stock, $20 stock. It doesn't matter. We're not scared by $50 stocks. It's about the yield that you're getting for the money you invested, right? And obviously, you want to make sure that stays on the higher side over time because that also contributes to your total return. So, say all that to say, let's go here and we're going to look and we're going to see here that in March, right, that's when the shift happened for ULTY. So, if you're looking at these YouTubers and they're going back before March, and they're going to these other previous dates, it's not going to be applicable because, as you can see, this is doing like $1 a month, and then it slowly went down, 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 and then switched to weekly. So if you're looking at it before it went to weekly, it's totally different strategy, totally different returns, total different everything. So it's not really a valid comparison, right? So we only show you the truth over here. We're not trying to sugarcoat it. We're not trying to be like, oh yeah, well, we're down $8,000 on a position over time. But that's not really reflective because we've had it for way longer, right? So you're gonna go back to around this time frame. So We went and looked up some big funds starting from this time frame the day before. So when they would have did the announcement for the distribution. And let's see. This is the total. This is the year to date return. And year to date always does year to date. So no matter what dates you select here, it's still gonna be year to date. So it's still gonna include those January and February months that were not really reflective. But even when you include that, you can see it's still higher than T-SPY, QQQI, CLM, CRF, SPYI. Still has a total return higher than those, right? Those are popular ones. And you can see here the graphics much higher than all those other ones. All those other ones are all here in the same range, right? And then this one will actually use the dates here and show that the overall return 26.9% here. You can see almost 12, 11, 15, 15, and then 12, almost 13 there. So we're looking at like over like double the 13s, right? So over double the total return of all these funds, even though the share price has been trading sideways basically since that March time frame. Just slightly down now, but at one point it was slightly up, right? So, and then you can see the same thing, the money from this date to that to today. If you look at the starting value, ending value, you can see that you have 12.6 and none of these are in 12,000, right? 11, 1, 11, 11 and a half, 1 and a half, 11, 2. So you can see that Alti is beating the market-based funds, some of the main ones, and even with the share price decline that we've been seeing, and that partially is also probably because of the consistent dividend, right? It's been like 8.5 cents to like 11 cents, right? And you can see this says year to date, so this includes those other 2 months, which is why it's actually higher than this from the March time frame. And you can see the worst drawdowns here. It has a worst drawdown, but the current drawdown is only a little bit. It's only a little bit, right? 2.5%. And SPYI and T-SPY are showing zero because they're closer to the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 is what this drawdown is based off of, or is what it's keying off of. So it's going to show zero. That's why these show zero. So you can see CRF is barely off of that. CLM is barely off of that. But one thing I was surprised about with this was seeing that I didn't realize right now this year CLM is doing better than CRF. Now you're supposed to buy both, right? Because they're different. All right, this is value. This is like kind of like total return. And I only have CRF right now in my portfolio. I don't even have CLM. So I'd be doing better if I had CLM. But I only have like 20 shares or something, right? I don't have a lot of money in it right now. But in the future, I do plan to grow these because they're 30% margin maintenance. Um, so they're going to give me a big amount of buffer, and then they're based off the market. So they have like kind of similar returns to the market. You can see this is 11.5. This is 11.5 for QQI. And this is less than that for T-SPY. So this is beating T-SPY. And it's also beating SPYI. And then the CRF is close, and it's like kind of close, right? So they're close to each other. They're all close to each other. So then, and just to further show the comparison, because people like to talk about um the underlying, right? Underlying. Actually, I don't think I want that one to be removed. I might add that one back here in a second. So we got QQ. So do QQ and SPY and IWM for the Russell. So you can see year to date, still the same thing, right? It's beating QQQ and SPY. right? It says beating the market for both. So if you want to outperform the market and get days gains for beating the market, you want to be in ULTY. And then if you look at the total return here, you still see ULTY on top. We can go back down where it's going to actually calculate it based off the dates, closer to the dates. Or maybe this is still total for a year though. This number looks the same. As well. This site's kind of weird because it doesn't really like shows a date over here, but I don't know if that's. It seems accurate. So you can see it's still beating, right? This is 16, so it's 10% more. This is 14 and 18, right? 8 and 8, 16, so 8% more than the market, right? Beating the market. So you're beating the market. You're beating this little T-SPY thing. You have still have the 12.6, and none of these are in the 12s, right? So you can see this the closest one's like almost $900, 11.9, still 12.6, right? So still a lot more, $800 more. So percentage wise, it's a lot more. But yeah, you can see it's just beating all the stuff across the board. You can see the zeros here because these are like the markets, right? Based similar to the markets, right? QQQ, I don't know why they're showing down. Well, this is probably showing down because it's based off of SPY. And so, yeah, the worst drawdown, they're still, so that's the worst drawdown. But no, I guess that happened on 4/8 when the market crashed. Everyone, when the market crashed back in April, I guess. I guess it had a worse drawdown, but it's still doing better on the return side, and that's what really matters. Remember, we care about total return and the yield, because the yield is how much money you're gonna make, no matter what the price is. The price could be $1, right? Stock price could be $1, but the yield's higher. You're gonna be paying more per dollar invested versus a $50 stock or $30 stock. It doesn't matter. It's all about the yield. Let me know how you guys are doing, what you guys got for this week. I'm gonna do another video with how much we earned for the month. 'Cause I'm pretty sure it's like 20K. So we will show that in the next video. Um, yeah, but you guys take it easy. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. And please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And you guys have a great weekend. Peace.